Dean Powell, they say amicably. He said he felt a bit jaded and just needed a change of scene. Patrick Mullings, he's a bit of a restless character generally, but a talented fighter, but he may have his work cut out here with this Simon Ramoni, who went in with British champion Michael Brodie in a Commonwealth title fight. And, well, we thought Ramoni beat Brodie, didn't we, that night? He didn't get the verdict. Well, we thought he won.
That's exactly right on our card. We thought he'd done enough, and I think he was a very, very good boxer. Nice and quick and a nice style. So it's very interesting to see what Mullings can do with him.
We were told to watch for a fast start from Mullings, and that's exactly what we're getting. Kevin Sanders, the trainer, was saying to me he's going to go for it early on. Let's see the results of that. He reeled off a series of quick wins last year, Mullings, but looked pretty ordinary last time against Rakhim Mingalaev, who you'll see later on fighting the local man Paul Ingle. Mullings needs to step up on that rather lackluster performance here. Ramoni, a former street fighter from Johannesburg in South Africa, and looked pretty high quality operator the last time we saw him, but he is basically a bantamweight and not a super bantamweight.
But in the Brodie fight, I think that, you know, that extra speed worked well for him. He could beat Brodie to the punch, good nimble movement, and I think really he's got to have that sort of form tonight.
Mullings in the black trunks, remember, starting fast here. Tend to talk about Mullings as a young prospect, but he is in fact 27. You can't really hang around too much with him.
I think they can't. They've got to push him along and get him in good fights as soon as possible, really.
Good right hands with his back to the ropes there from Mullings, who's come out here with some real menace about his work.
Some of those punches he's letting go with bad intentions.
Ramoni just hasn't been able to get into it at all so far. He was very, very confident in that fight against Michael Brodie.
That's a decent punch from Ramoni, that straight right hand.
Got in with the left and right. Now the little South African starting to get to work late in the rounds, and I think he might have shaken Mullings up with a few of these. This is an impressive burst here from Ramoni. Look at this, and Mullings having to cover up and being asked some questions. What a turnaround.
Oh, what about this from Ramoni? Lots and lots of punches. A great sequence from Ramoni. Great end of the round.
Some opening round. Ooh. Well, Mullings had to keep his wits about him there in that finish, and I think a couple of those shots did shake him up a little.
They did. There was an awful lot of punches went in unanswered, and he did look at one point as if he was in a bit of trouble in there, kept his hands up to try and get out of trouble and let it over, but Ramoni just kept coming in with punches. What a tremendous amount he threw in that exchange. They're mixing it up. There's the left hook over the top. He staggers there. His instincts were right just to keep his hands up and get him through it, but that was a terrific spell from Ramoni.
Good defense from Mullings. Not too many of those getting through as we see it all slowed down. Well, this might be good. It's due to go 12. Mullings in the black trunks. His only defeat so far in 17 fights against Spencer Oliver in that terrific fight, which was for a Southern Area title 18 months ago. Spencer, of course, who's with us tonight, happily. Notice that Ramoni's got the name of Ezard Charles, the former world heavyweight champion, written on his trunk, spelt wrongly. I don't know whether he's a hero figure for Ramoni or whether it's some kind of trade name. Oh, right hand, that one shook Ramoni. Good punch from Mullings, got him with a right hook.
Right, step back.
Mullings having a good spell there, just leaped in, just caught Ramoni by surprise.
Slip by Mullings, nothing more. And he's worried about something on the top of his head. Mullings there, something's come loose. Well, you just wonder what's going to happen next in this one. Right by the side of the North Sea, the tide in the fight, literally ebbing and flowing.
Well, this is really a good clash of styles here. One having success, then straight away the other.
Good body shot again from Ramoni, who takes some removing. A left hook, again, and a chopping right hand from Mullings. He's got Ramoni going here, but he can't put the South African away.
Well, this is a good fight. They're both showing good skills, nice movement, and very, very aggressive.
It's a heck of a contest so far, this. John Coyle, the excellent referee from Wolverhampton, in charge here.
The right hand works very good for Ramoni. That's the punch you look for against the southpaw, and he's catching Mullings again with a good combination.
Look at the big finish to the round from Ramoni again. This time Mullings is having none of it and comes back with his own shot. Uppercut from the South African looked a good shot too. We'd be a brave man to put a bet on which way this is going to go.
You really would. A very exciting fight. And two very good fighters.
We're seeing here already between Patrick Mullings, one of our brightest super bantamweights, and the South African Simon Ramoni.
Excellent exchanges here from both fighters. They both had their successes. Brent Maloney sitting next to us is wiping his brow, and I think he didn't expect anything as tough as this for Mullings.
Patrick Mullings in the black trunks, the white of Simon Ramoni of South Africa. They are in fact fighting for something called the IBO version of the super bantamweight title, not to be confused with the WBC, WBA, WBO, WBF, and soon we're going to run out of letters of the alphabet. It is quite ridiculous. Mullings, with the best will in the world, is not one of the top super bantamweights worldwide yet. So let's just keep things in context. Somebody's got to try. But he's in a heck of a fight here at the moment. Black trunks, remember, of Mullings. Ramoni was telling me last night he's prepared much better for this fight than he did for the one against Michael Brody, and he was good enough there.
He was good enough. We thought he won, and he was very aggrieved at not getting the decision there. So maybe he's come out here with a, to make amends.
It's been a fiery performance from Mullings so far, but Ramoni's been meeting fire with fire.
Mullings has got to have more head movement. He's been caught through the middle, especially by the right hand from Ramoni. So he's just got to get a better defense.
Good little straight right hand through the middle from Ramoni, whose record of 1-11, lost 4 doesn't really tell you what a useful fighter he is. He's fought for South African and Commonwealth titles, failed in those bids. Only holds a provincial title in South Africa. Never been stopped, though, Ramoni.
But that may well be a very important fact in this fight, that he is known as a durable fighter, as well as having the good skills that he does possess.
Sitting the gloves. He was only off balance there, Ramoni. A lot of punches missing in this round. It's just got a little untidy in the third.
I think that was more some nice defensive head movement from Ramoni. Just trying something different, Ramoni. Just trying more footwork, just switching angles.
A quieter third round. Superb setting here in Scarborough, which is a rather elegant resort.
Well, both have had some good work. More defensive in that round, Ramoni. Mullings trying to press, getting his hands up tighter, and Ramoni not getting the success that he had with the right hand, so maybe Mullings has just gotten on to that one.
Fourth round, due to go 12. This, both of them 8 stone 9 pounds at the weigh-in last night at a local hotel. Black trunks, Patrick Mullings from Harrow, the man who has his own car dealership. And Ramoni, who learned his boxing the hard way as a boy growing up in the townships around Johannesburg. Tough man with a lot of self-belief, Ramoni.
He's nice and fast, got that good bit of flair, can put his punches together very well in combinations.
I was asking Ramoni last night, had he seen anything of Patrick Mullings? Did he know anything about him? He said, no, never bothers to watch videos, just turns up, has the fight. But Mullings starting to let go with some punches here. Oh, Ramoni, big right hand that just jolted the head of Mullings back on his shoulders. Better precision from Ramoni.
Well, he's a very confident fellow, Ramoni. And he looks very good when he puts the straight punches right through the middle. It's difficult for Mullings to have any sort of defense to them.
These are good shots from Ramoni. These straight rights are working for him, and that one went in round the side door.
Well, he may not be the trainer anymore, but you just saw a shot of Dean Powell up there, really screaming instructions to Patrick Mullings.
Well, it's a big night this for Mullings, with big plans ahead for him. It's a big night too for his new trainer Kevin Sanders, who used to be with Nigel Benn in the later stages of his career.
Good punches again, nice body punches, changing there.
Oh, the right hand wobbled him. The right hand from Mullings was a great answer. It just played the legs of Ramoni for a moment, just when Ramoni was looking right on top.
Well, he needed something like that, Mullings, at that stage, because he was starting to get hit more and more from Ramoni.
So fascinatingly poised, this. Mullings coming on strong late in the round, having been outboxed for a lot of the earlier part of the session.
Live American golf coming up starting Thursday. It's the last major of the year, the 1998 US PGA Championship. 4 days of live coverage beginning Thursday night from 6, Sky Sports 2. Here now, round 5 of Mullings against Ramoni, bubbling up nicely. Super Bantamweight, back to Glenn and Ian.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Great value fight, this one. Patrick Mullings from Harrow in North London in the black trunks. 16 wins out of 17, and hoping for an appearance on the Lennox Lewis bill in America late next month. But will he be fit in time for that? Because this looks like being a hard one.
Yes, this is a very hard one for Mullings. I'm a little disturbed at how often he's getting hit. His defense is poor. Ramoni just slotting through with the punches time and time again, and that's got to be worrying for Mullings.
Ramoni just looking a little swollen around the face here and there. No cuts, nothing for him to really worry about so far. It's one of those fights where one fighter has a little spell on top, and just when you think he's really beginning to dominate in a big way, back will come the other fighter.
That's right, and that makes the rounds very tough to score. And I've got a dead level at this point, but the rounds are, as you say, and just going one way then the other.
I chickened out with 2 of the early rounds. I had them even, and I've given 1 to Mullings and 1 to Ramoni, so I've got it level 2. Good atmosphere around the arena, the local fans waiting for their hero Paul Ingle to appear, but they must be engrossed in this one while they're waiting. Confirmation of Glenn's scorecard, level.
Some nice hooks, just changing style a bit. The straight punches had worked well for Ramoni, now letting the hooks go.
These are good, precise punches from Ramoni. Once again,
he's having to take a lot of punches, Mullings.
Which is not slipping many of these, is he? He's hit Ramoni with some very good shots, but the South African is still in there, still looks confident, still looks composed. And his punch picking has been better, hasn't it? More lately in this fight.
That's right, he's picked good punches out there again. That right hand through the middle. Mullings just time and time again just can't get out of the way of that shot.
Just switching downstairs, upstairs. Ramoni. Mullings looking for a shot again to get the South African going. This is Ramoni's round, isn't it, at the moment?
Yes, it is. Ramoni's round again.
Stan James, the only ones offering odds on this fight this morning, had Pat Mullings at 4-1 on to win this fight, and this fellow Ramoni 5-2 against. I wonder what odds they'd be putting out now.
Well, I think they'd be a little bit different at this point. This is good work from Ramoni. He's catching Mullings through the middle, and then he's changing it, cuffing him around the corners of the guard and getting through with a lot of punches.
Now, John Coyle is not happy about something. It's some water that's been spilt in Ramoni's corner. He wants that cleared up. Now they can get on with it. Here's round 6, getting on towards the halfway stage. Mullings, black trunks, the white of Simon Ramoni.
Well, you said when you spoke to Ramoni and that he said he trained harder for this fight than he did for Michael Brody, and to be honest, it looks as if he's a much improved fighter than when he fought Brody. He's certainly throwing an awful lot more punches than he did that night.
Clever combination punching from Ramoni again. He just looks to have a bit too much hand speed at times for Mullings. It's a bubbling little division, this, in Britain, with Michael Brody and Richie Wenton around on the scene as well. Better from Mullings in this round, trying to put Ramoni under some pressure.
Well, I think that could be the best policy for Mullings. He's got to try and throw more punches, keep the pressure on Ramoni, because Ramoni is a bit faster and is quicker to the punch. So I think he needs to close the distance down and be very busy, Mullings.
Certainly can be no doubt about Mullings' preparation for the fight. He's apparently been living with his new trainer Kevin Sanders in Peterborough for about 5 weeks. Have been up running the hills 6 miles every morning, 100 rounds of sparring. Couldn't have prepared better if it was a world championship fight. You know, I mean a valid world championship fight.
Good left hook there and another one, just rocking Mullings about. He looks hurt here, Ian.
He does, doesn't he? This looks bad for Mullings at the moment. Only a slip by Ramoni. Mullings wishes it was otherwise. He's beginning to look a bit befuddled, confused and bewildered by this South African.
And this is also going to be eroding the confidence. It's got to be upsetting the confidence of Mullings, getting hit time and time again.
Having to take too many shots, Mullings. Well, this South African made Michael Brodie look pretty bad, and he's doing the same in stages and phases of this fight with Mullings as well. So, you've heard what Glenn McCrory and I are making of things so far. Let's hear from Spencer Oliver, who's with us also tonight. Spencer, what do you think of it so far?
I think it's a great fight so far. I just think that Pat's maybe got to switch his attacks downstairs and start putting the punches together a bit more. At the moment, he just seems to be throwing them in ones and twos. When he throws them in clusters, he's a lot more dangerous. So I think that's what he's got to do.
Do you think Ramoni's ahead so far? We do.
Yeah, I think it's very tight. It could go either way at the moment, but unless Pat starts picking it up, I think he could be in for a bit of trouble.
Thanks a lot, Spencer. Spencer Oliver, the former European Super Bantamweight champion.
Just showing good work from Ramoni, having another good round, putting the punches in so well, and Mullings really needs to start avoiding some of these punches, because the long-term effect later in the fight, when it's got to have an effect, it's got to start getting to him.
7th round. Can Mullings pull this out of the fire? He came out full of positive ideas, had a great first minute, and at that stage you couldn't really envisage that he'd be in this kind of situation in the fight going into the 7th. I noticed one of the previews of this fight was saying that last time out Ramoni in that Brodie fight was actually giving cheeky little kisses to Brodie in the clinches. Didn't see that myself, but
it wasn't something that I saw. He certainly was very, very confident in that fight and did taunt Brodie a lot. But he's been a lot more all work in this one.
Again, Mullings looking to close the range, but taking punches on the way in.
Well, he can barely miss Ramoni at this time.
Right crosses, left. These have got to have an effect. Mullings is beginning, you feel, to fall apart here. It does look here as if he may be on his way to a damaging defeat unless he can find something spectacular from somewhere. Hitting the gloves. Got through with the right hand, Mullings, but he'll need more. Pace has been ferocious here, hasn't it?
Terrific pace. And there's worried faces in Mullings' corner.
Oh, what a good uppercut, the right from Ramoni.
Really is excellent work from Ramoni. He looks very confident, very relaxed. He's standing in front of Mullings, just taking the punches that he wants.
They're both looking pretty tired, though, aren't they now? Rather leaden movements, but Ramoni's still dominating. Stamina could come into play here in a big way.
Very much so. This has been fought at a terrific pace. But Mullings is the one who's been hit the most, so you'd think it would take more out of him.
Ooh, right hand was a good shot. Ramoni, again, he's pulling away, you know, the South African. Well, this is a nightmare for Kevin Sanders, isn't it? First time in charge. Dean Powell, I'm sure the old trainer will be feeling a little hard done by that Mullings left him. After all, he'd only lost one fight, and pretty heroically in their time together. And he decides to make a trainer switch for his own reasons, and it's not going right.
It's not working. And the thing that he seems to have lost is the defense. This is it's the worst defense I've seen in Mullings. You know, he's getting hit with far too many punches, and he has right from the start of the fight. So a change can often work for the best, can often be the little knees up that you need, but it can also, changes can spell disappointment as well, and things can go wrong with changes.
I have to let you into a little secret. Glenn picked the big race winner at Ascot this afternoon at 14-1. Where's your money here, Glenn?
Well, at this point, I would have to probably lean towards Ramoni. He's boxing very well. Mullings needs to find something a little special. He's got to try and turn the tide of the fight. And don't talk about my winnings, Ian.
Drinks are on you later.
Yeah, I thought that would come.
Here's the 8th round. Can Mullings find a way back from here? If he did win this, it would be a really terrific performance from him, because he will have had to have shown some real guts and staying power. He's having to dig very, very deep, you feel, at this stage, but this is what championship quality is about, isn't it? Or part of what championship quality is about.
Very much so. Often, you know, good fighters, good champions can be behind, but it's the fact that they can pull that back and overcome that is what makes them, you know, great fighters, great champions. But it's very difficult for Mullings at this point. He needs to do something different.
I think Ramoni himself has slowed down a good deal.
Well, he's fought at a good pace, and you know, he's had some good rounds. I've given him, I think the last 4 rounds I've given all to Ramoni, so maybe he's just taken a little respite.
This is better from Mullings. Is he beginning to find a way back? Mullings just holding the right arm of Ramoni rather cleverly in the clinch there. Fight being scored by 2 British judges, Paul Thomas and Larry O'Connell, and Rocky Young from the USA.
And he's just dropped off the pace, Ramoni, so really Mullings has got to try and seize the opportunity, work very hard.
This is the best round that Mullings has had in a while, though, isn't it? He needed this.
In a long while, but it's mainly down to Ramoni just dropping off the pace.
Is that a sign that he is tiring? Maybe, but only maybe. Damaging looking body shots from Ramoni. He certainly knows when the last half a minute of the round is, doesn't he?
Yes, again, just picking up the pace, and this is where the defense of Mullings lets him down.
But I think Mullings might have edged that one.
Yes, I think Ramoni maybe just left it a little too late, and I think that was probably Mullings' round.
Now then, this is the star tonight in his hometown for the first time, Paul Ingle, who's looked world-class in 1 or 2 of his performances, up against Rakhim Mingalayev, who's a durable, tough customer who's capable of maybe pushing him quite hard. So what does Ingle think about the fight?
I said 9th to 10th round it'll be all over, but you know it's going to be an hard fight. The first half of the fight, you know, he's going to be durable and he's going to come for a go. But I think the second half of the fight, you know, I'll start ripping it out of him and slowing him down, and I think 9th to 10th round it'll be all over with.
Well, he's confident. Calls himself the Yorkshire Hunter, Paul England. He really is a big star in this town. It would be great if they could have a world title fight for him at the local football ground or something like that in the next year or so. It's good, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's very good, and it's good that he's brought boxing here to Scarborough, and you know, let's hope it continues.
Round 9. We think that Patrick Mullings is behind at this point. Whether the judges agree has to be a moot point. It's very hard to second guess. But was there a little glimmer of hope in that last round for Mullings?
Well, I think maybe, certainly he dropped off the pace, Ramoni, so maybe he's tiring. I think Mullings will be hoping that he is.
Still, those good body punches from Simon Ramoni, the 25-year-old South African. Ooh, big left hand. That seemed to shake Mullings. He gets his gloves up. He's blocking a few on the gloves. But Ramoni here has got Mullings in a spot of bother again.
Well, he's taking a lot here. He looks tired, Mullings. These are hurting him.
Not much coming back either at the moment. There's one, but he misses with it. What a tough, hard fight this is for Patrick Mullings.
Well, Mullings is going to need every bit of grit and determination he can muster here.
This is proving every bit as tough for him as that Spencer Oliver fight.
Yes, it is. A fight that was very similar in the pace and ferocity that it was fought at.
Well, they were obviously very confident about Mullings going into this. I mean, the booking of Simon Ramoni, I mean, he'd given Michael Brodie all the trouble he could handle, and he's doing it again.
Yes, maybe they should have looked closely at that and how Ramoni boxed in that fight. And a big round, this one for Ramoni.
Yeah, he's really on top. And he's very tired, Mullings. I just wonder how much he really has left there. Remember to never ever stopped Ramoni. Oh, good right hand from Mullings there. That made Ramoni take a couple of backward paces. What grit that is from Mullings. Well done by him. Oh, and another good right hand from Mullings. Comes back well, right towards the end of the round, but he will have lost it on the scorecard.
Well, he showed real grit there to try and have a big finish, and he caught Ramoni with a few powerful shots at the end of the round, but up until that point it was all Ramoni who really hit Mullings with absolutely everything.
Bucky Martins working the Ramoni corner.
Some of the work from Ramoni, he's just looking for the right spaces and the gaps to get these punches in. Nothing coming from Mullings in return at this point.
Well, he really is trapped in a corner at the moment, isn't he, Mullings, in this fight?
And there's the big left hook there that did seem to hurt him, but he came back so well towards the end, showing real determination. And I'm not sure Ramoni was quite ready for those.
Tenth round. I've got Ramoni 3 rounds ahead at the moment, with 3 to go.
Yes, I've got him in a similar score, 3 rounds ahead.
Ramoni in the white trunks, the South African, remember, if you still need the identification. And if Mullings does lose this, there's no disguising the fact that it would be a very, very serious setback to all the hopes, plans and dreams that they have for him. He's looking a little more tired over there, Ramoni, for a moment. But maybe he's just giving himself breathers.
Yes, I think at this stage in a fight which has been fought at a pace that this has, he's got to be tired. It's got to be feeling it and draining it. So, he'll try. He's experienced and he's very cool and relaxed in there. And he'll be trying just to grab a breather when he can and keep himself nice and relaxed.
Mullings has had to take a lot of shots. You wonder how much he has left to come back with. Every so often he digs deep and finds a humdinger of a punch, as he did a couple of times late in that last round.
Trying to lift the pace here, Mullings, with a big body punch and uppercut. You just get the sense from Ramoni just trying to take it easy, just fiddle Mullings about a little bit and grab a breather.
Well, we've talked about the change of trainer. That can sometimes have an effect on a fighter, good or bad, but I think whoever had been training Mullings for this fight, it would have been a very, very hard one for him.
Well, certainly, because you just got to look at the way that Ramoni is fighting.
There is Kevin Sanders, the new trainer. I wonder what's going through his mind at the moment.
Well, I wouldn't think he's the happiest person in here. He'll be concerned.
Ooh, straight right from Ramoni. But Mullings needs a big finish, because this fellow here is right on top and at the moment dominating, but he does look tired, so who knows?
He does look tired, but I think what I like about Ramoni is the fact that he's got a good boxing brain. He's very relaxed, and he just seems to take a break and also still just put a little few punches out, just to take the judge's eye. And I think that's so very good. One of the good things that he does. He didn't do a lot in that round, but he didn't look as if he lost the round. I give that one an even round.
Well, according to Glenn's scorecard there, and I have it the same way at this point, Mullings needs certainly a knockdown in the last couple of rounds to get things leveled up.
Yes, he needs two very big rounds, Mullings, if he's to try and, you would think on our course scorecard, get a win here.
But hang on, wait a minute, look at this, starts around 11. I tell you what, booking this guy Ramoni seems a good way to get your fighter beaten, doesn't it?
Yep. Promoters, the British promoters don't want nothing to do with this guy. He's a good fighter.
I think he's an improving one as well, which is where they may have gone wrong with him.
Well, he certainly looks a lot better than his last outing here against Michael Brody. He's picked up the pace. He looks much improved from that.
And he was good then. Again, Mullings having to take these shots. It's a workmanlike start again to the round from Ramoni. Dean Powell, the former trainer, is on his feet on that far side as well, urging Mullings on. He was telling me last night, no bitterness as far as he's concerned. He wants Mullings to win. That's all part of the subplot here. The new trainer, Kevin Sanders, at the bottom left of your picture, and the old trainer, there he is, with his shaven skull on the far side, Dean Powell.
Well, Dean's been roaring encouragement to Mullings throughout this fight. But good punch picking from Ramoni.
Very, very tired, the pair of them now.
Well, Mullings is trying so hard in this round to lift the pace, but Ramoni just comes straight back at him.
See, I'm not sure there's very much left in the petrol tank.
Beautiful right uppercut there.
Just as I said that, and again, and a left hook to Ramoni, desperately trying to hold on. This could be it for Mullings. If he can find room, the leverage for the punches, there may be a way back from what looks to be oblivion.
Well, he looked completely out on his feet.
He had Ramoni going. He might still do too. Pouring in the punches, he falls over Mullings. Simply the effort he was putting in, and Ramoni looks very tired. What a dramatic finish here. The end of the 11th round. Ramoni will need the minute's break. Mullings comes back. It was a big round for him in the end. Maybe it was a 10-8 round for him even, was it? Maybe, arguable.
It was a big finish of Mullings. I don't think it was enough to be 10-8. He certainly had Ramoni in all sorts of trouble. It was the round that he needed Mullings. It was a very good right at the end. He got the punches in. He was out on his feet. Just tremendous survival instincts, which I think some fighters, it's just natural. He just knew what to do, and that was crowd Mullings, get close to him, and that's all that got Ramoni through that round. Because if he could have found a space, moved away, I think he would have just fell forward.
Ramoni was holding on desperately, and I'm not sure whether Ramoni, after this exhausting battle, has another 3 minutes left. Was the minute long enough? Well, this promises to be some last round. Patrick Mullings in the black trunks was staring defeat in the face, but look at this. What tremendous grit Mullings has shown here. Oh, he gets him. Sucker punch, really. It's the knockdown. He's not badly hurt, but he's shaking his head, but that's damaging on the scorecard.
That's very damaging. The corner saying it wasn't a knockdown. I think it was. He was caught with something, and he's in trouble a little bit here, Mullings.
Ramoni finished very strongly against Brody. There was I and Glenn thinking that Ramoni was exhausted at the end of his tether, and look at this from him. This is not a bad fight, is it?
This is a terrific fight. This really is terrific boxing here. And they talked about comparisons with Nigel Benn, and he's shown the heart of Nigel Benn in this fight, Patrick Mullings. The same sort of grit and determination.
You still do not know the outcome here. Ramoni, you feel, must be ahead on the scorecards, must be, particularly with that knockdown in his favour in this round. But could Mullings yet find the punches for the knockout?
Well, this has been a brave and determined couple of rounds for Mullings, but you know, for me, he's got to be behind. It's got to be Ramoni ahead at this point.
This is the latest in a series of really excellent fights in British rings in the last few weeks.
Well, they're both very, very tired at this point, just falling into each other.
Inside the last minute. Ramoni finishing strongly. Mullings must have felt at the start of that last round that there was renewed hope for him. There may still be, who knows?
Well, this has been a strong round for Ramoni, and I think that's maybe just took it out of Mullings after such a good 11th round.
If Mullings is going to produce the knockout punch he probably needs, he'll have to be quick about it now. 20 seconds remaining. Magnificent contest, this. Tribute to both of them. Mullings has been hit with too many shots. His defence, frankly, hasn't looked good enough. That's been a big, big problem for him. But near he goes again as the bell sounds. Ramoni lifts his hands aloft. Mullings doesn't. And I think, and Glenn thinks, that Simon Ramoni, if there's any justice, has won that.
Yes, we did in his last trip against Michael Brody. We thought he'd won it there. I've got Ramoni winning.
You've got it 116 to 113. I have it 117 to 114 for Ramoni. Same difference, really.
Yes,
so to speak.
That's the same outcome. We got Ramoni by a decent margin, and he seems very confident. He seems to feel he's done it, but then he did last time.
He feels that he was robbed last time he came here against Michael Brody, so that they'll be wondering. There are 2 British judges and 1 American. This is for one of those very lightly regarded versions of the World Championship, a very lightly regarded version, because the real men are Eric Morales, Kennedy McKinney, Boyano Bungu, Junior Jones, Marco Antonio Barrera, those kind of fighters. John Coyle, the referee, he will have enjoyed that assignment, I'm sure, as much as we all enjoyed watching the fight. People knock boxing, and sometimes with good cause. Let's make no mistake about that. But let's be fair too, that was a terrific piece of sporting theatre.
Well, if you look at the 2 corners, you've got to look at Mullins' corner do look as if they've lost.
Here he goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Rocky Young scores the contest 117 or 110, Ramoni. Judge Paul Thomas scores the contest 118, 110, Ramoni. And Larry O'Connell scores the contest 116, 112 for the new IBO Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Simon Ramoni.
And the margins were big on the scorecards. One by 7 rounds, one by 8 rounds, the other by 4, which means that we scored it. We were a little bit kind to Mullings, maybe.
Yes, we were. He's a very, very happy man. Simon Ramoni, good right to be. It was an epic fight.
And a deserved winner. But it's a very, very damaging setback, that, for Mullings.
Yes, it is damaging, very damaging. He's got to regroup and try and come back from this.
However you view the merits of the title that's been at stake in that fight, it doesn't make any difference whether it's the oldest established WBC version of a title or this IBO. Still and all, the effort and the danger and the commitment required is the same. Mullings again features in a massive effort, but this time comes up short against Simon Ramoni.